Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in. Check out your boy P Farm Thinking Right out here in the lab, and I'm in the book. This is one of my favorite parts. We're gonna do some Maat, the guide to righteous path of enlightenment, and this is the scene they call judgment. Quick breakdown. No, let me get this. Let's just start. I'm excited. This is my girl. We about to have some fun. Maybe a little while, but this is gonna be a good lesson. Let's rock. Rightisms, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in my stories for life. This is one of the better ones. You tune into receiving them. I give life lessons. You tune into receiving them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's get this party started. Right thinking mission, and I'm on it, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinker's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline, practice daily, will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. You see where we're going with this? Let's get there together. So I asked the question, do you know you? You will when I'm through. Yeah, because that's what I do. It's rhetorical, but if you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not, we got him in the White House. Foolish, disregard them totally. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. Why? But you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Another, that's that guy in the White House. He's 2 out of 3. They're dangerous. Disregard them. I do. Excuse me. Avoid them. Excuse me. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm your spiritual alarm clock, here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you, right thinkers. Know thyself and to Maat, be true. Speaking of my girl, I want to read something right quick. But the title, right thinking, is all about Maat, the guide for a righteous path to enlightenment. But I'm going to read something about Set. This is your ego. I'm going to start off with this one. Set is the ego. Remember, the acronym for ego is what? Edging God out. So Set and Maat ain't going to go together. Set is the ego. And when the ego goes the wrong way, it will commit evil acts. Sound familiar? But itself is not evil. I told you about that deal. Only ignorant. What you mean? Ignorant of the knowledge of self. We suffer because we have lack of self-knowledge, and Set proved that out perfectly. When you have selfishness, hatred, violence, jealousy, greed, etc., all these are acts that seek to stop the orderly creation of the universe. The boat that you see rowed in, stops the boat means what? Stopping the boat means what? That you are trying to literally stop creation. To bring creation to what they consider a halt. You are trying to stop order. You are trying to stop righteousness and truth. If that were to happen, and this is in you, this would mean that world would come to an end. That means if you live by Set rule ego, you will die. Your world will come to an end. If you practice, now let's talk about my girl, Maat. Maat is the guide. Okay, here's a little picture right here. This is the Pharaoh Seti. This is Maat. See a little figurine there? He's offering up Maat to the Pharaoh. Okay, but the Pharaoh ain't in the picture, but that's what he's doing. And watch this. This was the highest award offering you can receive. It says, the offering of Maat symbolizing the ultimate act of what? Righteousness. I love that. And at the temple of Seti I, you see the king offers up to Asar, sitting on the throne, not pictured, but he offering up Maat. That's the highest offering you can make. And one of the main duties of the king, imagine the king being a president. That's what the president is taking after the king. Now watch the duties of a king, and it should be the duties of the president, right? Leader of the people, take care of the people. This should be understand where we at. The king job, the king's duties. No, one of the king's main duties of the king is to uphold Maat. We got Captain Numbnuts holding up what? And we found Maat, he would never be in that position. Never happened. Okay, we got Set in control. Okay, and what's this? Now, Maat is the ethical, right there, moral basis for harmonious society and order. Without that, you have chaos. Captain Chaos is in charge right now. Proven fact. And this is a 10,000-year-old philosophy. Okay? Ain't new. But we still see it enacted and played out to this very day. Watch this. It is also the duty of the king, aka president, to what? To protect Maat by what? Opposing all who seek to destroy peace and justice. Hell, he the one doing it. He the perpetrator of the same thing he protected somebody from. Something went way wrong. The highest expression of a king's pledge to uphold Maat is to what? Is to make the Maat offering. Take care of your people. Maat says you get clothes to the clothing, you give food to the hungry, water to the thirsty, and back in the day, you give a boat to the boatless. That's what Maat represents. And we ain't nowhere near that. Let's go. So, but in order, there are two roads to travel by mankind. Again, that's what Maat represents. Two roads. Those who seek to live Maat, I'm with them. And those who seek to satisfy their egoistic animal pleasures and passions, I'm not with them. I used to be. I was one of them. See, I crossed over, and I tell my pastor, when I was a bad guy, the good guys was winning. Okay, I come up be a good guy. The bad guys is beating us down. He said, no, brother, right? It just looked like that. I sure wish it started looking different because I'm tired of I'm on the wrong side again. I can't win. But self-mastery of one's passions will allow divine thoughts and lead to what? Good and right actions. That's what you should be doing because that's what Maat offers you with the philosophy that she presents. This is what she's offering you, and I can attest to it. It worked. Okay? Now, in order to uphold truth, you got to live by it. In order. You can't uphold something you ain't living by. If you ain't living it, don't preach it. You sure don't teach it. It very hypocritical. Moving on. But all must make offerings to Maat. If you are a follower, you have to follow Maat. And the highest offering is what? Living by those truths. How about that? That's the offering you make to Maat. Same thing you do to God. You owe allegiance. I do the same thing to Maat. It's just a female. Still same qualities of life. Same doing the right things. Selfish service. Doing the right thing. All those things is the same thing. Other religions, Chalcedonic speech. Same thing. Moving on. But the truth, when you live by it, the truth of the world and the truth of the beyond, remember, we always seen beyond here. So we always had an afterlife concept started by us. Even the king must make offerings to Maat. No exceptions. Dr. Clark, no exceptions. One of the main duties of the king, again, is to uphold righteousness. We got a guy offering that. Is he upholding righteousness? No. Is he upholding order? No. Is he upholding truth? Is he living truth? His wife's about to leave him. The world's going to hell. And in his mind, he wants the Nobel Peace Prize. Why? whole bunch of questions there. But when you do these things, and he ain't doing none of them as a leader or the president of the United, the leader, goddamn commander-in-chief, whatever. But he ain't following by no rules. So that there may be a continued prosperity and peace, in the land. And white America is just white privilege. Moving on. And so what? So there may be a perpetuation of culture and its civilization can grow. But here you saw the picture of Seti I on the tomb is making an offering of Maat to who? Asar again. This inscription can be seen, even today in the temple of Seti I in Abdul. The offering of Maat is the ultimate thing a king can make. And this is what he is expected to do. This is one of his main roles. He is to protect his people, to protect order, and to keep unrighteous people from dominating the culture or being in charge. Fell on every count. Just like he was guilty of 34 counts, he fell on every count of a responsibility, a role that he's got. He ain't nowhere near filling those obligations as a leader. Moving on. And he wants to be a dictator. People don't like you. The people love my man in Africa. They don't like you. What that say? Moving on. It was simple. But watch this. To keep evil from controlling. We ain't doing a good job because he is the epitome of evil. The following commission proverbs are what they call injunctions of Maat. There are two roads to travel. Mankind does seek Maat, those who seek the selfish animal passions. Master of one's passions will allow you to have divine thoughts that lead to divine action. Righteousness, doing what's right, understanding how and what it means to do the right thing. Now, over here. This is infamous judgment scene. You see my man here on my pen. You see he's in white, right? But you can see through the white and see his skin, right? So this is him in a ghostly concept, right? He passed because this is his heart. This is Maat's feather. Okay, the feather Maat is by little figurine. But you know who this is? That's Anubis, the jackal-head god. He making sure that scales is right, you get a fair shot. This guy here, this is Thought, the mind of God. He's there at Judgment Day. What? He's recording. Okay, he does that. That's his job, to record. All right. So I'm gonna break that down for you. I love this. Why? Because it explains how and what you need to do to get where you want to go. Okay, eternity. I just showed you there are injunctions of Maat when practiced. These injunctions are part of the major teachings of the Pert M. Haru text and the wisdom teachings of ancient Kemet. It didn't say Egypt. You want the Commission knowledge, not the Egyptian. Excuse me. They're not the same. Excuse me. What I just showed you was a slide number 39, and it's called the Maat philosophy, which is what they call the foundation of the Sabbath philosophy. That means teacher, guru, sage, saint, given information. That's what we talk about right now. Now, I'm sure that many of you seen this picture before, different concept, but this is pretty much the concept of the final part, the judgment, all right? And once it's the most popular section in the text, which contains the judgment of the soul. They say soul is your actual heart, your conscience, okay? Soul, spirit, conscience, okay. But watch this. The idea, it is from one of the papyri that they call from the Pert M. Haru, which you know now is the Book of the Dead or the Book of Coming Forth by Day. The idea coming forth by day means if you pass, you're going into eternity, into the light, into eternity with God. This is the picture showing some of the hieroglyphic texts, which the teachings that we have been discussing. Thus, Asar, seeker. You know what the 3 levels of the brain? You got the reptilian brain, the monkey brain, and the bird brain. Thought is the ultimate bird brain, right? He holds all the intellect. He's the wisdom. He's knowledge. But guess what? Asar also got the falcon head, okay? The bird brain with the sun disk and the Uranus, okay? Haru rocks the falcon head, God. Ra rocks the falcon-headed God. The falcon and the snake, the cat and the serpent, they got all different concepts, but the idea is that the highest level is what? Your bird brain. Moving on, just a little tidbit, and you see this in regular form, he's king of the dead. Okay, he's in the afterlife. That's who he represents, and he got the falcon head, the sun disk, and the Uranus. He's God of the afterlife. So the idea is to get to him and join with him, become one. That's the idea. You only get there by passing the judgment. That's where Ani is going through right now. He passed, he's in the next phase. All right. Now, bringing the soul judgment. But in this picture, okay, now you see Asar, which is the seeker, which is the falcon head man now, the bird brain man. He reached the highest level. He's representing God. Now, Asar in his form as who? King of the netherworld. Everybody goes to the netherworld, okay? Where everyone goes after death. After death, there is what they call a judgment. And that's carried out by the balancing scales, which is represented by Maat. She is actually the scale sometimes, okay? You see her form as the scale. She also represented by the pedestal that everybody stands on. So Ra stands on Maat. But one, watch this, balancing the scales. When the scales go up, feather Maat, your heart. You got 3 things that can happen. If the heart is heavier than the scale, that means the heart gonna go up, the heart gonna go down, and Maat can go up. That means you fail. If it stay balanced, you did all right. Idea is to have what? More Maat than the other side, and that way you are pure and righteous. That's the concept. Let me break it down for you. Let's go. Now, one end, they have the feather of Maat, and on the other one is to have your heart, which is Navaz. They call it the ab. What's the heart? The heart is a vessel, aka a container, and it contains what it contains. It contains all your thoughts, all your feelings, all your desires, and all the residue of your past actions. Everything you say and do, Tahuti is keeping records. And at Judgment Day, you get to read them out. 42 judges sitting there. They don't see them right here, but that's the judgment scene where if you say, I have not peed in the Nile Valley, in the Nile River, and somebody, your character says, yo, my man, remember you? So they tell you, don't have your heart speak against me. That means if you've done something that the judges know, they're going to turn you in. Okay, they're going to snitch. They know they're not going, if it ain't what you say, that's what their job is, to turn you in. So that's the whole part of that too. They keep track of your actions. If the heart is heavy with what you call worry, anxiety, unrighteousness, guilt, lies, deceit, and desire, aka the 7 deadly sins. Why? Because they make the heart heavy and bam, party's over for you. Then what happened? It is going to weigh down the balance of the scale and not in your favor. Of the scale with Maat goes up, your heart goes down. This is an unrighteous soul. I mean, you didn't live right. I'm at eating time. And that's what I'm at the devourer gets to eat, your conscience and your existence. Your consciousness and your heart. Okay? Why? The soul goes on. Heart and mind get eaten by a man. If you pass, your heart and mind go as one, the body and the spirit come together and y'all go back home. But the unrighteous, they get that. Now, second one, if the balance of the scales can be even with Maat, meaning you uphold your end, or the balance of scales can be uneven. The heart can be heavier, or the heart can be lighter than Maat. And that's the test. So what happens? So there are three things that can happen as the result of the balancing of the scales at Judgment Day. First, if the heart is heavier than Maat feather, this means that you, as an individual, have been unrighteous, as a person. And now you will suffer in the netherworld. Remember, unrighteousness here does not mean evil, but rather ignorant, and therefore acting out of error born out of egoism. That's the serpent's mindset. When you have desires, when you have unrighteousness in your heart, black heart, you have nightmares. Okay? What nightmares? Nightmares are what they call the source of your own suffering. Your fetid actions that takes in the nighttime you go to sleep, it follows you. And that you have brought upon yourself. Your nightmares are yourself turning on you. The dark side coming to life and you just toss and turn and don't want to deal with it. Okay? That's brought on by you. And what happened? You will not have insanity either. Okay? Don't care. You will not have, okay, see me. You had nightmares. And you will not have mental disease. Well, excuse me. These are things that brought on yourself. All the negative aspects. Sorry about that. But if you are a right thinker, if you live right, practice the philosophy that I've given, and you live a righteous and peaceful life, you cannot have nightmare. I can't remember the last nightmare I've had, so I agree with that. Why? From experience. I used to worry about stuff, go to sleep, knowing something coming, you can't sleep. We all been there. My mom still can't sleep, but that's just how you can't control the mind. Agitated mind is hard to control. Meditate. Okay, but when you're living and doing right, there's no nightmares. You will not have mental disease either, and you will not have insanity either. I mean, your mind will stay sharp. Dementia is what? The mind not being used to start turning to mush. When you don't know what time it is, what day it is, what time, you letting your mind just waste away. My man Einstein, 80-something years old, had a brain of an 18, 19-year-old. Why? He used it, kept it sharp. You can't kill it. You can't wear it out. It's going to go long as it does one thing, solve. Number two, if the balance scales are even, that's what I show you every day. That's cool. But that just means that you are a good soul. Yeah, you made it. You made the cut. Okay, you got by. All right. You ain't an A/B student. You a C student. So you average. So you in. But what's this? You a good soul, but you are not a perfected soul. What I gotta do perfect? Calm down. Take what you got. If you made it there, you got there. But it's too late. A perfected soul will know when to get there. It's perfected. So you being average, you did all right. So watch this. Now the decree is what? Is that you are going to be a servant of Asar. You will be able to behold Asar in his city, but you won't go to become one with him. You're the worker. Okay, so understand that. There's a place for you. Okay, even in eternity. That'll be your job, what? Forever. They did the joke about Trump when he went in. The devil said, "We ain't got no space for you right now, but you can switch with one of these." And they showed him Monica Lewinsky is in the room with your boy, with Clinton, right? And so he thought he gonna get Clinton's job, later and just get the done. No, he switched with Monica Lewinsky. That's karma for your ass. Excuse me, I had to get that one in. But all right, now if the scales is even, you still get in, but you ain't raising. The third one. This is the one you want, right, thinkers? This is what we live for, right here. This will be the one I'm gonna take it home. I see the clock. I'll finish the rest, but I'm gonna take it home with this one. If your heart goes up, and your heart is lighter than Maat feather, oh, you a bad man. What? That means that you go to actually sit on the throne. You bad man. Yeah, you got to become one with Asar. If your heart is heavy, that means one's mind is full of desires which is unresolved feelings, guilt, anger, hatred, greed, worry, anxiety, etc. And due to their ignorance and egoism, if the heart is light, it has let those fetters go. You have to conquer the ego and stop being that kind of person. I know firsthand, again, through experience, what happened. If your heart light and feather, it's because you let those feathers go, conquered the ego, and now you have cleared the afflictions caused by set, your ego. You conquered the ego, you put them in check. So, in mystical terms, what you mean? If I go sit on your lap, what happens? One of two things will happen. This is funny. Either you start to feel the pain, because you ever had the one with that butt bone, you ever had girls in your lap, you think it's cool, and everything, but all of a sudden, that butt bone start creeping. Yo, baby, you got to get I ain't no chair, but this is the concept. They either you start feeling the pain, and I may break your leg, but if I am so subtle, so light, effervescent, like ghostly, right? Then I may now dissolve into you. That's called becoming one with Asar. And do you follow where this is going? You become one with Asar. That's the concept. And that's the lesson. I see the clock running. I'm gonna stop right there. I got a whole nother crazy information. I'll bring that to you in a minute. But I want to get the judgment scene across to you. That's a concept that I just fell in love with. And it makes a whole lot of sense. So, in closing, right thinkers, may you all live to be 100. Me, 100 minus a day. So I never know that my people who follow the Maat philosophy have passed away. And remember, when you perfect Maat, you let light as her feather, you get to go to forever, the afterlife. That's the goal for all right thinkers. That's the lesson. I'll be right back. I got more for you.